Hi there, welcome to one more episode. Today I'm going to teach you a flow drill that I learned from Pekiti Tersia. Right? It's a 12 to 17 step flow drill, however you see it as. I personally like to say like 16 steps, a lot of steps, right? But I'll show you real easy how to do it, okay? So I'll break it down part by part first. The first thing that he does, right, let's say for example, he hits me with end number 1, all right? Let's say I do an inside sweep, okay? What I do is I circle and I disarm him, all right? And I hit him at the first one, all right? Let's try that again. Okay, boom, boom, okay? From there, right, let's say I circle and I bring it over here, right, like this. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna put the stick up here and then I'm gonna lock his arm like this. Right? At this point, if he has not let go of the stick, it would be more painful. So let's say that then he let go of the stick, right? And it dropped, right? So at this point, notice how I X him, right? Which again, I put up here first, right? I put up here first. Notice the bottom arm. Then I put my top arm up. There's an X. Now, I'm going to use this part of the stick to pull him down, to lower him. Sort of like a Dumag move, right? A little painful, especially right here, when I'm compressing into his nerves and bones, okay? It's painful, right? But the effectiveness of it, right, is very simple. At that point, right, this is where it gets complicated. I lift it up a little bit. I bring this stick right here to his neck, and then I have to turn his hand like this, right? And then I put his inner elbow, as you notice, into the lower body of my stick, whereas my fist is holding it. And then Danny, on the other hand, notice his neck, the front of the stick is here. So what I do at this point is I simply pull his arm down this direction and it'll look like this. Okay, check this out. Right over here, I simply pull his arm just downwards, and then I don't really do much with this, but I kind of push this up too, like that. Okay? All right, let's try it one more time. Okay? And 1, 2, 3, right there. Just make sure, right, after you snake it, your hand goes around his upper wrist down to the middle of his forearm right over there. Okay? Hit that right there. At this point, right, you could kind of like just do this, right? And then just pull him down. Right? Okay, so his hand is obviously too weak to grab the stick at this point. Now over here, right, you can clock his face, right? Clock his face, right? And then immediately, right, you see this? Lift his arm up a little bit. Bring this to the neck. As you bring it to the neck, then join his inner elbow into the lower part of the stick, and that's right over there. Hold it like this. See, one arm is held like this, downwards. This one, I'm gonna push up. As I push this stick up, this hand, I'm pushing it down simultaneously. It forces that kind of a movement, okay? Okay, cool. So that's very comfortable. So I'm gonna loosen it. At this point, you see this opening here? I put this hand, I know it's a lot, right? So just play the tape real slow, all right? Put this around here, right, and then cup it like this. This is a shoulder dislocation move. You know, simply just bring it up. I don't want to break his shoulder, of course, right? So therefore, but it will be upwards. Okay, so there's a break right there. After that break, okay, I'm gonna go over here, push the stick towards over here, right? Holding the stick still here. This hand, right? So Danny will tap me if I'm choking him, right? So I put this hand is holding it here. This other hand comes behind, okay, like this. Now I put this palm, just like I'm doing a rear naked choke, I'm gonna push his head down while this stick pulls in, okay? So from this angle, right, it'll look like this, right? And from here, come here, right here. Push his head down as I pull the stick in. All right, I'm gonna give him some pressure so he does tap. Right, that's it. Just a little bit. And that really pushes the Adam's apples in. Okay? Next move, right? Simply kind of let go for a quick moment, switch hands, right? This is like, you're like this now. Now this hand, which is your right hand, comes around the stick where you put your inner elbow onto the stick and make an upside L. Put the palm onto his head, rear naked choke his other side of his head, right? So you push down this way, and then this hand over here pulls at the same time, right? So Danny, don't need to tap, right? You know, so that is going to be a push, right? So let's suppose I choked him over here, all right? So let's suppose I choked him. Now, over here, right? Just kind of drop the stick a little, drop the stick. Now over here, what I do is I bring this stick right over here, right on his back, right? So I'll show you one more time. From here, I'm gonna drop this right here. Now, at the same time, I bring his arm up over here, okay, like this. And what I'm gonna do is, notice how my stick is here. I'm going to put this on the bottom of his tricep here, and then the front of the stick, I'm gonna put it like where his chest is, right over here, right? And I'm gonna just simply push down, okay? Now let's look at the front. All right, one more time, I'll show you from the back, right? Just make it as straight as possible, and then notice how I'm lifting my arm up. I'm gonna push it down, okay? So let's see from the front real quick, okay? From here, notice this. Lift it. See, you see where the stick placement is over there in the front? That's it. Right over there. Make sure you hold his arm, right? Okay? All right, at this point, right, while he's still down, immediately pull out, then use like sort of your bottom half of your forearm here, put it right on the side or the bottom of his tricep, holding it up. Okay, so this is submission, okay? Ouch, sorry. So from here again, down, pull it up, in like that, okay? Now, if you want to give him more pain, elbow it, okay? Is more painful, but this is usually good enough, all right? After this move, what I do, right, this is my favorite move, is I bring it close to his neck, right, and then we're gonna do an X, another X. So notice how my bottom hand is below his neck, okay? This hand over here will go for the top. Now notice how I'm gonna close both of my forearms, right? If you can see over here, how tight the forearm is over here, right? And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna kind of close it like this. Okay, one more time. I was here, right? Now I'm gonna close it like this, okay? And then so to really choke him, which I'm not gonna do, but what I do is I pull the stick and collapse and compress my arm further, all right? So it looks like this, okay? That's a collapse right there in the compression. At this point, right, the next move, I know it's a lot of moves, don't you worry, just keep rewinding it, right, and go through it, okay? Bring the stick almost all the way out, right, you see that? I almost have no butt, okay, almost no puño. See his head is still down? What you want to do is you want to put this end of the stick underneath your own armpit that's holding that stick. So what you do, right, and as a partner, Danny will purposely, right, put his head as close to my inner elbow as possible. You see that? So he was here before. Now I'm going to, because we're practicing, I'm going to say, I'm going to push his head closer to that way I don't crush his neck too easily. This is a very painful move and could choke someone out if you put too much of your forearm on his neck, right? But over here is like, okay, so over here now, watch this. I'm going to use this arm, hold on to the other end of the stick. So it's like I got two ends of the stick. Now, I will simply, notice how I just went down a little bit, I kind of sank, right, with the hip. I circled it in, all right, like that. And this is a submission, okay, this is submission. Over here, Danny is a lot more comfortable than if I did it over here. Now he's choking, but if he's down here, right, he's not really choking, unless, right, and then you can tap anytime. Now you see how I just straightened it, right? That's how you choke someone, is you straighten it like this, right? That's it, right? At this point, this is the finisher. This is the finisher for this type of choke. I just go right in front of him, This is a really messed up move. Notice I put my hand up. Now, as I keep my hand and stick down here, I'm gonna tiptoe up, right? And then definitely a tap if I'm choking you, okay? So please be careful when you do these moves. That's it, right? That's the finisher. In real life, if you do this to someone, they tap, they're in trouble. They're in a lot of trouble, all right? Okay, so again, I'm not gonna really do it tiptoeing, but notice how my hand, right? And I would tiptoe up with it, right? With it. So this stick, the force putting the back of his neck is forcing it down. Effectively, my inner elbow is choking him on his neck by his Adam's apple, pushing it in, whereas this hand is just supporting in the means of going upwards. It's, science. It's amazing how this works. All right, let's suppose he's in trouble now, okay? So what we like to do is we like to just, let's say he's choked out already. This is another move that they put in there. Just, know that this is a possibility, but I won't really do this move. You put it in the front, I know, just be careful. Your arm, right, watch this. It goes behind, like this. This hand, so in the front it looks like this. In the back, it looks like this. Okay? Now, watch my back hand now. Come back over here. Okay? This hand is still like this, right? Which is my right hand. This, now as I pull this, I'm gonna push like this part of his back. He loses balance, right? This is a move that I personally never really think I would use, but it's good to know that you can use it, right? Again, right? And so on and so forth. Okay, cool. After that, this is where it gets tricky. Put your hand, your right hand, on the end of the stick. Kind of put it here, and then put it right here. Okay? This is going to pull his inner quadriceps, so he's out of balance. Now, over here, I kind of drive it like a motorcycle. Just like that, right? So after I pulled it, now I push, right? Dislocate, throw him off balance, and then I just do this, let go. That's it. 2 twists.